Hello everybody, how are we all doing? I hope that you've all had a lovely Christmas. So I'm doing my first ever Q&A today, which I'm really excited about. I've wanted to do a Q&A for ages because it's just like so fun to like talk about your life because I love my life. Like, okay, so I decided to do a truth or drink to make it a little bit more festive and fun. But actually, most of the questions, you guys were very, very PG and very considerate. So I'm just gonna like pour myself some white wine just to have... Perfect. Just to have anyway, but I don't actually think I'll be skipping any questions. Let's get started. Okay, so first up we have Emily has asked actually quite a few questions. So what was the hardest thing about buying and doing up your own house? And is the cost of living crisis making it more challenging? And then she also asks, do you miss van life? So I'll do the house ones first and then we'll come to van life because someone on Instagram actually asked about that as well. So I would definitely say that the financial aspect is what we find hardest with the house. And that kind of ties into the cost of living crisis as well, because yes, we are finding it harder. That is the long and short answer. Definitely with us being quite young, buying our first house, we are at a stage where we have barely any disposable income. And I'm also a student, so I have really no disposable income. So I think that just adds to the challenge of creativity that comes along with doing up your own house, because I think that the less money you have, the more wonderful the things that you will do, because you won't just rely on purchasing a £3,000 chair that makes the whole room look sensational. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't do that. So you have to come up with other avenues of making things look fabulous. That's the biggest challenge, but I think that it's also the biggest resource for creativity that we have. Do we miss van life? Yes, yeah, we miss van life a lot. I think the wonderful thing about the van is that because it's such a small space, everything is within arm's reach. So like, I know that this is a very like, it's really a non-issue, but if you leave something upstairs and then you have to go all the way upstairs to go and get it, it really is a non-issue, but it is an issue when you've lived in a van and you can just like touch everything you own from like one position. We do miss living in the van. I think it was a wonderful lifestyle. It served us really well. Yeah. Feline Therapy asks, do I have any favourite YouTubers? And I certainly have favourite YouTubers. I have been watching YouTube for, I wouldn't even want to count how many years now, many years. And it's my all-time favourite platform out of any of like the social medias or any of the video sharing. Like, I love YouTube. My favourite YouTubers are Trent and Ali. I absolutely adore Trent and Ali. Little Simsy is my favourite for Sims content. I really like... what were those guys called? They like fell off the radar. Oh, Wabi Sabi. Have you ever, like, they fell off the radar, but I loved them when they were posting stuff. Simone Gertz, what a legend. Catherine Manning, obsessed with her existence. Cracking the Cryptic, if you're into Sudoku, that's my best recommendation ever for a YouTube channel. I really love Mia Maples. She's such a fucking cutie. And then Makara Tours, love her as well. Okay, so Ellie asks, what is your dream job / where do you see yourself in 5 years time? So I think that's actually, it's a good question to answer on the YouTube channel, because obviously like I kind of record my existence. So it's almost also what you guys can expect from me over the next 5 years, I guess. My dream job would be a stay-at-home mum YouTuber who grows all my food in the garden, hunts my own animals, sews clothes for my 5 children. I'm just kidding, 4 children, but in reality it's going to be 3 children, but it's fine. That would be like my absolute dream existence. Actual job-wise, career-wise, I have an interest in veterinary. I've always had an interest in veterinary, so that's why I'm currently pursuing my biology degree. Within the next 5 years, I'm not going to be a vet. That's too short of a timeline. That's a much longer goal. So within the next 5 years, I would hope to have fully finished renovating the house, have sold the house, have bought land in the Lake District, and have started building our house from scratch with our hands in the Lake District. Maybe have a baby. Okay, and then Sarah asks, please can you show us pictures of Alfie and Harry Haggis as puppies? Oh yes, I can. Oh please, can I? I love my dogs so much. I think they're the cutest thing in the whole world. If you didn't know, I have 2 collie cross things, but my older one is called Alfie. He is 8 and Harry Haggis is coming up to 5. Oh my goodness, these photos, I actually can't. They're the cutest things ever. I'll put them like up on this. I'll shuffle over here and I'll put them here so that you can see them. So this photo is the first ever photo of me and Alfie. It's our first official photo. It was after I'd given him his first bath. Oh my god. So he was 4 months old when I got him from a lady on Gumtree. This is him with like the biggest bone you've ever seen, just looking adorable. He's like a beardy collie something or other, that's why he's like got the shaggy coat. This is him just looking cute. This was actually taken on his first ever night camping in the snow. What a legend. And I lived in Glasgow when I got him, so this is us in Belliston Park in Glasgow. Oh, so cute. So then Harry Haggis, he was 6 months old when I got him, and I got him in October 2018. So here they are together. Oh my god, so cute. He was so tiny, bless him. He was so mischievous, like that's just him. That jumper that Harry Haggis is wearing is actually Alfie's jumper, and I just thought it would be cute to put it on him just to like show how tiny he was. There they are on the sofa. There they are in the field. Look at that cheeky little, oh, he's got such beautiful eyes, so cheeky. That was one of Alfie's birthdays, or was that actually that? Yeah, that was Alfie's birthday. That would have been his 3rd birthday. Oh, such good boys. Such good boys. Oh my goodness. Okay. I don't know, I'd say that they've changed a lot in terms of like, Harry Haggis was really naughty when I got him, but he's now a really kind middle-aged dog. And Alfie, I think, as he's kind of gotten older, he's definitely become more of a recluse. He's not as interested in people and other dogs as he used to be. But I think that they're both just the sweetest dogs ever, and they've always stayed the same, like, in their heart, I think. Like, Harry Haggis is just a mischievous little guy, he just is, and Alfie is just a sweet guy, a sweet old man, like, he just always has been. So yeah, also, that would be my recommendation. If you want to have a dog, but you don't want to contribute to all the many reasons why you shouldn't buy a puppy, and you can't rescue, because rescue centres have really, really strict criteria of what you need to have to be able to take a dog from them, and I didn't fit that criteria way back when because I didn't have a 6-foot fence. I had a fenced garden, but it wasn't 6 foot, so I couldn't rescue a dog. And I was like, okay, perfect. Yeah, okay, it'll just stay in the kennel for another like year then, fine. But what I would say is to go to Gumtree. Gumtree is where people who have, you know, gotten dogs and for various different reasons now have to move them on to different homes. So it's essentially still rescuing, but you're cutting out the difficulty of rescuing. For example, Alfie, his owner bought Alfie as a Christmas present, which is just so dumb. Don't ever do that. Obviously, it wasn't planned, and so she couldn't have a dog, so she had to move it on. So that's how I got him. And Harry Haggis, his previous owner, had Crohn's disease, and so she got a puppy because she hadn't had a flare-up in a long time, and she thought it's perfect time for me to like get a dog. And then she had a flare-up, and so she wasn't able to look after him anymore, and so that's how I got him. So yeah, there's lots of different reasons people put dogs on Gumtree, and I would say that that is a much better route than, you know, puppy farms. So Patrick asks, dusk or foobar? Dusk, every time. Amy asks, why did you quit your job? No, I will answer this. I won't like spill the tea, as it were. I shall not. But bad management is the long and short of it. It was a terrible management, and I said bye. Sarah asks, how did Lewis woo you, or did you woo Lewis? I moved to Sheffield in 2019, and that is where I met Lewis. So I moved down, and I was staying with my best mate for the time being until I got myself sorted in a house, and he was already friends with this other boy called Lewis, or Pamf as they called him. And me and my best mate had planned to go exploring, like urban exploring in Sheffield, I'll put a picture here of where we're planning to go. And then I turned up ready to go, and he was like, yeah, no, I can't actually find any wellies, so like, plans cancelled. I was like, okay, fair enough, fine. What are we going to do instead? And then he said, why don't we go around to my mate Pamph's house because he's dying to meet you and the dogs. Sweet, let's go. Love to make some new friends. So we go around to this boy's house. We're talking about the UFC, right? And he makes a comment. From that instant on, I was like, no, he is written off. I have no interest in this boy. Roll forward like 2 weeks maybe. My best mate is trying so hard to convince me that I should give this boy another chance. And we ended up going on a date. And I really liked him, and he was really nice. And I broached the topic of the comment that he had made that made me not like him. And then he was like, what on earth? No, like, So basically, he'd said a statement but hadn't attached an emotion to the statement. So the statement was true, but he didn't say that he disagreed with it. So in my head, I was like, the fact he didn't disagree with it, he must agree with it. And then he was like, no, like, I don't agree with it at all. I think it's absolutely terrible. I was just saying it because, like, it's true. And then I was like, oh, right, okay. So you're not a piece of shit. All right, we can be friends now. Now we're like going on 4 years and we're going very strong. So yeah. Very glad that my mate convinced me to go on a date with him in the end. So Amy asked another question, which is, how often are you eating organic local food? I feel very attacked by this question because we try so hard to be as sustainable as we possibly can, and a huge chunk of like your carbon footprint is your food consumption. It is so important to try to source as much food locally and organically, you know, as organically as you can, but we are not good at that. We are not, I'll fully out myself here. We are not good at that. We get a milk round, so our milk is in glass bottles from local farmers. Beyond that, we try to eat in season, so we try to only eat raspberries when they're coming from Scotland. You know, we try to only eat, I don't know, things that are not coming from like Morocco and stuff. But it's incredibly difficult. It's incredibly difficult, especially when you're as busy as we are. This coming spring, I'm going to really focus on growing. So I've got all my seeds are already ordered. I bought myself a nice pair of gardening gloves because that's really going to inspire me to get out in the garden. They've got lemons on them. I love them. Can't wait for you to see them. But yeah, I'm going to really try to focus on growing our own veggies this year, like taking it really seriously and actually trying to sustainably feed us from the garden as much as I can. This is going to be my first ever growing season, so it's going to be a low bar. Honestly, if I get to eat one pepper, I will be thrilled. Like, it's a long process to bring yourself to a place that you're happy with like the food that you're consuming, and we're quite young in our lives and we're very early on in that journey. So I try not to put too much pressure on us, but equally enough pressure that it makes us move forward, you know. So yeah, the answer is no, but I'm trying. Okay, so that is all the questions that we have today. I really enjoyed doing this. This was really fun. I'm just loving like the festive background. We're at Lewis's parents' house right now, and like look at, oh, this is so cute. And I'm just like here in my jammies because like Christmas is all about fancy tops and jammies. This has been really fun. I've really enjoyed this. I'm going to be taking next week off because we're going up to Scotland to see my family, and I just want to like chill out, see them, and not stress myself about, you know, like having to film and things. So yeah, next week there will be no video, but then we'll be back the week after with The Office, ? I'm not entirely sure. Okay, I hope you have a lovely new year. See you then. See you next year. Bye, love you.